Everyone wants more money, but most of us weren't taught how to create an abundant life. That's where the More Money Show comes in. If you're ready to have more money, create more freedom, and experience more fun, turn the volume up. It's time to learn how to create the prosperity and life you have been dreaming of. Here's your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the More Money Show. Today we have Carrie-Ann back for her second interview in the year of growth, and I'm super excited to catch up with her. Hi, Carrie-Ann.
Hi, Cassie. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm so excited to catch up and share with everybody what's been going on. It hasn't been too long since, it's been a while since you guys heard it, but it hasn't been too long since we actually recorded the interview before. But I really wanted to paint the picture of that's where you were. Like, you took Manifest 10K. We did it twice. We talked about that last time, right? And that's awesome. I love it. I actually think everybody should take it twice. Just because things change, and it's such a good course. I've done it more than twice. And then, so catch us up. What did you do last weekend? Tell us all about that.
I took the Write Your Millionaire story workshop last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What were your biggest, or is there any way to describe it? I guess let's start there. The experience, more than just like what, you know.
Yeah. No, it was really, really thought-provoking.
Mm-hmm.
In that, you sort of gave us these little challenges that we had to do. And the one that sticks out probably the most to me is having to budget our monthly millionaire budget,
Mm-hmm.
and having to account for every spending, any kind of spending that we did within that month. So we had to actually, account for the money we were making in that month. So for me, it was $45,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get to $45,000. I think
Mm-hmm.
I only got to $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was a real eye opener, because we always think, oh, if I had $1 million, this is what I would spend it on. But it was a little harder than I thought it would be. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what that is that, is really an indication to me that I need to open up, that focus, need to open up, that a way of thinking is, oh, well, I got all my basics covered, but, to go ahead and explore and push those limiting boundaries that I have right now. So it's to play in that field.
Yes.
So to me, that was a really huge eye opener. We all think we're ready to be millionaires, but once you actually have the money, how are you going to spend it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And that's a huge thing. And that's why I do that exercise, so we can see where we are. And also, I love that, there's still room to grow.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
Tons.
So, any other ahas or anything that happened during the workshop?
I think, so there's two things that I discovered. I discovered that I really enjoy working in a group. And I know I've said this before, but sharing your story and hearing other people's story is very inspirational, because we're all at different points on our journey, but we can still get so much from everybody's story. There's always some gem or some nugget in there that, gives you an aha moment, or simply validates what it is you're doing or where you're at right now. And the second thing is that I left there with an immense sense of relief. Because again, my biggest learning through this whole process has been to trust the process.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Just let go and let it be. And that's been a real challenge for me. And so, there's some anxiety that's in there, but this workshop really helped to sort of relax that and bring that sense of relief that, yes, this really does work. Not that I didn't believe it 100% before, but when you see it happen to other people, and then when you're able to identify it on your own path, you're like, okay, all right, this really is working. This really is the right path that I'm on. And you just like, I just felt like, okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can keep going.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so good. Was it just relief that like there's a process and it's all happening? Or was there something about, because I know sometimes when people actually like, because you get to see your future self, right? You see her like clearly. And so for some people that relief is like, oh, I know it's going to happen. Was yours more about the process, or was getting that glimpse of her, did that play into it?
I think it's a little bit of both, Cassie, for me, because I hadn't really spent any time trying to connect with my future self, not
Mm-hmm.
really knowing how I would even do that. But having heard other people, taking a workshop and talking about their future self. So I was like, okay, this is going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that was, sorry, I lost my train of thought again. What was your question?
It's all right. Was
Yeah.
the relief more about trusting the process, or did it
Oh,
also
yes.
come from actually seeing, oh yeah, I get there?
Yeah. No, for sure. So 100% trusting the process, because again, I witnessed other people experiencing that as well, seeing that, their trust, um, really got them results. So it's okay for me to trust the process, but
Mm,
and also, connecting with my future self, and seeing at least the beginnings of her, and
yeah,
learning how to, connect with her and bring her forward more and more every day.
yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how did seeing her and connect with her, how are you able to go forward just in the couple of days since that workshop and be more of her?
You said something, I think it was to do with the scripting exercises,
Mm-hmm.
that um, we're doing it from a 5 year in the future point of view, and
Mm-hmm.
that whatever she's been through, she's gotten through.
Yeah.
So where I am now, my future self 5 years from now has gotten through it, has, had many, many successes, has learned a lot, has grown. So that to me was, really a point, that like a sticking point, because it lets me know that everything is okay, that everything is going to be okay, that whatever challenge I face or whatever obstacle is in front of me, I will get through it because my future self has gotten through it.
Yes.
So it's confidence, and it's that sense of relief that, okay, so there's a bump in the road, no problem, because my future self handled it. And the other thing you mentioned is, to give her space to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing that helps push away that anxiety and helps push away that worry, when you're like, okay, no, I need to be quiet, and I need to listen to her, because
Mm-hmm.
she needs to be heard. So, in the small, space that has been since I took the workshop, I'm starting to slowly practice that. It's, it's again, it's a new skill, it's a new tool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, okay, no, I've already been through this. So, I do I hear her right now? I don't hear her right now, but that's okay, because I'm giving her the space. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning to give her this space, and that's going to take practice for me, because I've never done that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so key. And I love how to heart you're taking that, because that is. And so we don't give a lot of space to a lot of things in our life. And so yeah, to be consciously opening up the space for her, that is huge.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Good
Yeah.
job.
Because there's
Yeah.
so much that sort of, you know, runs through your mind on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis, that, if it needs to be part a routine, it needs to be part of your daily thought processes. So, even if I have to set a reminder to say, okay, give your future self space, that's fine.
I love it.
It's
Yes.
fine, right? Because
Yeah.
it's going to become a habit, just like everything else up until this point, has now become a habit. So this is just one more tool I get to add to my toolbox to help me create my life and connect with my future self. So it's very exciting.
I love it. And were you, because you're so, I can hear the difference in just, well, like the 6 months, but also just a
Yeah.
couple days. But
Yeah.
you have this, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like this zest now that like this is a tool and I'm learning. And that's different than when we started working together, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, for sure. When we first started working together, everything was, okay, I have to do this assignment, so I check it off. I have to do this assignment, I check it off. That's the type of person I am. You give me a list,
Mm-hmm.
I'll check it off. So the first time around Manifest 10K, it's sort of just, I had aha moments, absolutely. And
Mm-hmm.
some things, I could do quickly and I checked them off. Great. The second time around, things went deeper. But this workshop, again, so it's this progression of my letting go and trusting the process. This workshop really allowed me to sort of validate and incorporate and sink in to everything I've learned up to this point. And I'll tell you, like, where I'm working right now, there's a couple of sources of stresses, but this week, I'm telling you, it's like I'm a brand new person. I have a different attitude. I have a different reaction. Um, I'm more, I don't want to say more pleasant, but I'm more joyful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing things differently. I'm not letting those things bother me. And that's one of the questions you had asked is, those 4 questions was,
Mm-hmm.
like, would your future self think this, or would she do this? And so I think, no, she wouldn't be wrapped up in things that really aren't important. Like, what happens at work doesn't affect my life. Like, so what that somebody, spoke a little loudly, or, someone else is yelling down in an office down the hall, that doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
So, like, that was big for me. And coming away with that sense of, no, it's all right. Like, this isn't going to be my forever place. I have a whole future ahead of me. So it kind of just, I don't know how, it really was a freeing experience.
Mm-hmm.
And even here, like, even at home, like, if I have to clean the litter boxes all the time, it's like, before I'd be like, oh God, I have to clean the litter boxes again. Why doesn't my husband do it? But it's not like that anymore. It's, no, I'll do it. The litter boxes need to be cleaned, or, the dishwasher needs to be emptied, or whatever it is. There's, resentment is not there anymore. You know, it's just like, okay, that's how it is. It's
Yes.
really not a big deal. It's easy. Like, life can be easy, and it really can be easy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right?
Right? And that's something, I never bought into. It's like, there's no way, because everybody around me struggles on some point,
Mm-hmm.
at some point in life with whatever, but it can still be easy to navigate that.
Yes.
So,
Ah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just, again, I just, it's this immense sense of relief and this reassurance, and, just having faith,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
There's so many juicy
Oh,
nuggets in
I
there.
know.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good. That relief. And you're so right.
yeah,
Like when it's, yeah, I love that. Just, and that's what happens. Like we didn't do anything, right? Where I said, okay, go through and decide what's not going to bother you anymore, right?
yeah,
We
yeah.
did nothing about that, right? But
No,
but what happens when we step into our future self is we literally start becoming a different person. And so that person obviously doesn't get bogged down by the litter box or the dishwasher because there's
yeah.
so much good stuff in her life.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's sort of, like, did I leave Sunday afternoon thinking all these things? No, it's been a process, and I will be honest, there was, some time, I think it was Wednesday, actually yesterday, where I just had this discomfort, and I just wasn't. I'm like, oh, what is this feeling? And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? You just really learned a whole lot of new things. You saw a whole lot of new things, and I recognize that feeling as resistance,
Uh-huh.
right? And I just said, it's okay. It's all right. Like, this is all new stuff. Like, when something new happens, yeah, it's okay to have that resistance. But it didn't last, because I knew that's what it was. I knew that it's, my old story creeping in to say, no, but we don't want you to go there. We want to stay here. It's comfortable. And I'm like, no, I'm stepping forward. I'm moving forward. And that's what that uncomfortable feeling was. And I'm very familiar with that, because I've been very uncomfortable through this whole process. And I know it might sound awful and it might sound very intimidating, but you know what? It's, that change is coming. Then that's when you're on the brink of something great happening. So I embrace it. Like, bring it on, because I want to keep growing. I want to keep connecting to my future self and creating the life I want. So, do I want to be uncomfortable every day? No. Because it sucks.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, totally
Yeah,
does.
totally. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that, but in the end, you really do see the progress, and you see how things change, and you see how it affects other people around you and your quality of life. And so this little moment of discomfort was well worth it. Like, I would do it,
Mm,
I'll do it for the rest of my life, because I want to keep growing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And
Yeah.
it brings me to a question. Like, how do you think doing Manifest 10K not once but twice prepared you to really be able to be open and step into your future self in the workshop and go full out?
Well, and again, I'll be honest here. I really didn't want to take it a second time. I'm like, what, another 3 months of this? No way. But, the person I was, the first time I took it, and the person I was the second time I took it, and the person I am now, she's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've changed, and changed in a positive way. Because every time I came away with a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more experience, and a little bit more success. So, it, yeah, as much as I hated the fact that you suggested I take it a second time, it was really beneficial. And, and now combining it all, all three things together, Manifest 10K twice in the workshop. It's just, I can't imagine not having done it and not being where I am now.
Yeah. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
it was uncomfortable along the way too, right? Like, not just
Absolutely.
Wednesday, but there were several
Yes. Thanks for bringing that
times,
up.
right? I think it's important to say it, because now you sound like it's
Yeah.
okay to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. It's all good, right? That wasn't always
Yeah.
like that, right?
No, it really wasn't. And and I feel wiser. I feel like I've gained this wisdom and this insight,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to sit here and truly say that there's magic in that discomfort. There's magic in feeling uncomfortable. There's magic in having your boundaries stretched and pushed. Um, and not only that, it's coming out the other side.
Yeah.
Like, because when you're in it, you're in it. It's ugly, it's nasty, does not feel good. But when you come out the other side, you're like, damn, I did it. Like,
Got
I'm a
this.
survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then you sort of look back and think, wow, I look at all this stuff I've changed. And again, I keep saying growth, but that's what it is. You're growing as a person. You're developing into the
Mm-hmm.
person that you want to be, that's going to help you, get to that future self and that future place that you want for yourself. And, it's just, I kind of feel like not like I'm an expert, but definitely that, I certainly have knowledge, that I can share, and that when I'm speaking truthfully, I'm speaking from experience. It's not just something, that I'm throwing together nicely for this podcast. It truly is my experience. And, if you'd have told me at the beginning that there was going to be so uncomfortable, I'd be like, oh, I'm out of here. but to that point is you have to be ready to sort of, dig deep and face those scary moments, and look at your old stories, look at your limiting beliefs, and realize that they can be different. They can absolutely be different. Like before, I used to be more of a, okay, remember to, think this way, or remember to focus on this. And now it's like, it's just an automatic way of thinking now that I see positive in most situations. And when people are speaking to me and they're speaking negatively, I try to, just, not to help them feel better, but but there's another way of looking at it, right? Because I can't change how they're going to think. All I can do is share, sort of, well, wait a minute, there is another way, and to share my vibration, which again, over the past few days has been like just so joyful and happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. What do you think is the biggest difference between you now and you 6 months ago?
Oh my gosh. Well, definitely my money beliefs have changed.
Yeah.
My attitude towards money in general. I came from a place of lack and scarcity, and when you did have it, you had to hold on to it for all you had, because eventually something would take it away. To now being open to receiving it in any way that it comes. I know it's coming. I know it's always going to be there. And the more I grow and the more I progress on my journey, the more I'll be able to tap into that, and the more I'll, have it coming to me. So that's definitely a huge difference. And, the other difference is just in my general state of mind, my general state of being. I'm definitely more positive. I'm not as anxious as I used to be. I don't think about, all the money I owe, or all the debt I have, or, what happens if this. I mean, because that's the what if game you can play until the cows come home. I mean, so instead of doing what if negatives, is what if positive, like what if I had $1 million? What if I had a new car? What if I had a cabin, by the lake with 2 acres of property? Like, if I can put that much energy into being negative, I can put the exact same amount of energy into being positive. And so there's another thing that, if, people all, of course that happened, well, figures that would happen, or, that sort of attitude. Well, if you spend all that time, thinking about bad things happening, think about good things happening, and spend the same amount of time doing that. It's no different. You're still spending that energy, but this one's going to get you positive results. It's going to get you feeling better. And that's the other thing. You want to feel better. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel anxious and nervous and not happy with my life. I want to feel relaxed and calm. I want to feel ease. I want to be happy. So, I've learned that in this time period, right? I can't say enough about it. And I know that other people feel it too. I know other people are benefiting. My husband benefits, and my friends, and and it's just something that, it's not like a big thing. It's just, someone will make a comment and you're like, oh, okay, thanks. Right? Because it's, when you're around people that are happy and have a positive vibe, you love being in that space and that energy. And I'm happy that I can be one of those people.
I love that. Yeah. What a great impact that is to have on your friends and your family and your husband.
Yeah. And myself, right?
Yeah. And definitely yourself first and foremost, right? You're more fun to be around.
Yes.
And since you're around yourself all the time.
Oh, it's a party all the time around here, let me tell you.
I believe it. You're even sassier.
I know.
It's awesome.
Well, uh, again, I'll be honest. I'm kind of a typical Canadian in that I am reserved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first meet somebody, I'm a little bit more reserved. Um, and then once you get to know people and get to know where they're at, then you sort of open up and share a little bit more, right? So
Yeah.
I've been working with you for so long now, and with some of the other members of the group that we're in the workshop, and now we're like, oh, now we're just, we're throwing little jabs and we're laughing, and so it's also it's a community that I'm a part of. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
a community that you've built, a community of like-minded people, of people who are sharing the same experience.
Yeah.
So I know if I run into something, I can just go into the enchanted circle and post a question and get feedback. And,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be from people that are interested, and people that are sort of, they're working towards their goals, and along the way they learn things and they share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So it's so much fun now. So yeah, I'm a little sassier.
I love it. No, I love it.
I
It's
got the sass.
awesome.
I'm full of sass, but I reserve it until I know that, is it appropriate to be sassy right now? All right.
Yeah, always.
Bring it on. Yeah.
That's what my nephew is always, since he started talking, like, I'm his sassy.
Yeah.
That's what he calls me. Yeah.
Miss Sassy. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
So I love it. Cool. So I just would love you to share, what did you, because I always have everybody invest in something that their future self would have. And I know you don't have it yet, but do you want to just share what you picked, and then everybody can see it next time?
Yeah. I picked a pendant. Actually, I'm wearing, because I don't have mine yet and I want to have something to hold on to. I picked a pendant that was a cat. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
cat, and it's ruby colored. Um, she's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked her for a few reasons. My future self is going to support some charities that are dear to me, and one of them is an animal shelter. So, I volunteered there. I got 3 of my cats from there. It's a volunteer run organization, and they need all the support they can get. So for
Mm-hmm.
me to have that cat as a connection to my future self allows me to be excited about being able to support them with monetary support, with my time support, because in the future I'm going to have all the time I need to do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do is to physically help them and also help them with financial support. So
Yes.
it's on the way. It got a little misdirected. I was talking to Canada Post today because it said it was going to be here on the 9th, and it's now the 11th. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
it arrives shortly, but I'm not worried about it. I know I will get it eventually. But in the meantime, I'm wearing another one, another gift that my husband had given me for my birthday a couple years ago. So it's serving the same the same
I
purpose.
love
This is
it.
what I do.
Yeah.
And before I got it, and before I even put this on, like Monday, I was already reaching for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was reaching for that, that connection, because that's what it's going to mean to me. And when I have
Mm-hmm.
it, it's going to be, oh, this is connecting to my future self, because that's what you said. And those are the words that stuck in my head, is
Mm-hmm.
that's my connection. That's my reminder
Yes.
that she is there with me always.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to get it, and I can't wait to show it to everyone.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So share with us, what's the best thing about being tapped into your future self right now?
I think it's exciting. So it's exciting because I'm actually going to be connecting with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hear everyone else talk about it, and I'm like, oh gosh, they're so lucky. They're already tapped in and connected, and she's talking to them. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to have that. But now I know it's coming. Like, it's there. I've got the groundwork. I've got the tools, and I've definitely have the I want to do it. I have the want to do that. Oh my gosh, I forgot what was I saying?
The best part about being tapped into your future self. You
Oh,
have the
oh my
excited.
goodness. Yes, excited. But also it's that confidence that that I know she's got it all ahead of me. It's all there for me to to realize, like to
Mm-hmm.
actually walk in those steps and do what she's done. So, sort of melding with her and becoming one. Like, it sounds so like, become one with your future self.
Yeah.
But that's what's exciting. It's
Mm-hmm.
and to see what's going to unfold, right?
Yes.
It's the excitement and the unfolding, because I have no idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a big picture, but I
Right.
don't know. I don't know what's going to come along the way to guide me there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting, the unfolding, and also just again being relieved that the work's been done. you know
Yeah.
like she's done all the work, and I get to I get to walk that path, and I
Mm-hmm.
get to contribute to that as well. So it really is, it's a partnership, right? So
Yeah.
and that's, for it to finally come together and to start connecting is just so exciting.
I love it.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts until we connect the next time?
You know what? Just do it. Just, take that leap of faith. If you're not, sure that this is for you, um, I've experienced great changes, such positive growth. I didn't always believe it. I didn't always think it would happen for me, but it has. Because I'm trusting the process. I have faith, and I have faith in myself. I have faith in myself, that I'm worth it. So, just trust and have faith, and results may vary, but they're always going to be positive, and you're going to find yourself in a place where you're like, oh, this is sweet.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. So yeah, so I wasn't expecting that to be, I didn't know, I never know it's going to come. But if you are feeling called to join the Enchanted Circle, go to CassieParks.com. Make sure that you're on my mailing list so that the next time we open up spots in the Enchanted Circle, and you can join the party and get to know your future self as well. Thank you for being here this time, Carrie-Ann, and I look forward to seeing what unfolds the next time we connect in this type of interview. Of course, I get to talk to Carrie-Ann weekly,
That's right.
but you all only get to hear from her about every 2 months.
Yeah.
So until next time, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your future self, and we look forward to what's next.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for joining us on The More Money Show. To learn the step-by-step process to welcome more money into your life, go to manifest10k.com.